What's up? What's up? How's everybody out there doing? It's Wednesday, time for Q and A's. So I got a couple of questions I want to go over live, and I really want to talk about these service organizations. Okay. With that being said, let me start with the first question. So I had someone ask if I could speak more about the current reviews that Social Security is getting ready to do going into 2023. I don't know what specifically you're asking for because I've given you all the information that I am aware of going into 2023 with CDRs. So if there's something specific that you're asking about or would like to know more of, if I have information I could give you, I'll try to put it out there. But as far as like speaking more about CDRs, I have no idea what it is that you're looking for specifically. So you have to ask specifically for whatever it is that you're looking for. Okay. All right. Move to the next question. The next question I got was a question regarding clothing allowances. You were denied and you're looking for help to get it, to try to get your clothing allowance. Well, you can file an appeal. I don't know if you're aware of that. And in your paperwork that you got, it should tell you that you have the appeal. So I don't know where you're filing at or where you're filing from, but you can file an appeal. Contact wherever you put it in, usually it's prosthetics. Let them know you disagree with the decision. They'll normally send you the appeal form to fill out. You fill out the appeal form, you send it in. Hopefully they'll get back to it rather quickly. And they're going to ask you probably to provide evidence, either a photocopy of your brace or cream or whatever it is that you have, and a color copy of it with the date, whatever the date is that you're sending it in, either through My Healthy Vet or through return it through the mail. Now, I will say this. If you are overseas, right, you got to let them know where you are. This has happened to me, okay? They will assume that your mailing address, because I use a Miami mailing address, is your actual address. Because they've screwed this up many times, and it's in my file, and they know this, that I'm in South America. But for a lazy VA employee, they will not look any further than your address. I can't tell you how many times they set up CMP exams for me in Miami. I'm not even in Miami. And if they would have read my file and looked a little further, they would see I'm not in Miami. With an international phone number, I'm not in Miami. But these are lazy people. Not all of them, but there's quite a few of them that are lazy. They'll just look at an address and say, okay, they're at this address. They'll send you something, and then they'll give you a certain amount of days to reply. Well, as most of you all who live overseas know, you don't know when you're gonna get your mail. It's not like in the States, you send a letter out, you may get it in 3 or 4 days. It may be 2 months, 3 months. Hell, you may never get it. So that's why you have to call and check on things with the Department of Veterans Affairs. If you're living overseas, do not just file something online and assume they got it. And then you check in a couple of months and they say, hey, we don't even have anything you ever filed. No. When you file something, you call them the next day, you verify. If the application you put in has a number at the bottom, because not all do. For example, if you file an appeal, the appeal normally doesn't have a number, a reference number associated with it. It'll just say notice of disagreement with nothing. So all you got is an email and a date, and they'll say, hey, we never got it. Versus you filing a new claim, if you notice when you file a new claim, there's always a reference number at the bottom. They do that on purpose to screw you because they don't want you to add you. They don't want to add you to that number of appeals they already got backlogged. That's just the truth. Okay. Now let me speak on service organizations. All right. Now there are some of you out there who will swear by service organizations that they've helped you and they've done all these things for you. There might be that's true. That may be true for your situation. Okay. But in most situations, service organizations ain't worth a damn. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because if you guys look at the current lawsuit that the VA is currently going through, right, for veterans who are of color who have been getting much lower percentages, and the VA has already admitted this. I put out a link showing you where the secretary and the press secretary acknowledged through their own algorithms, people of color have been getting lower rates than their counterparts, right? This is just fact. But the thing I want you all to understand with these service organizations is they know this. Have you ever received a letter from a service organization, be it DAV, BFW, or any of the other ones telling you, hey, there's a problem at the VA. They've been giving veterans of color lower ratings. Have you ever received that letter? No. Have you ever received anything from DAV telling you this is what your rating should be, but because the VA did this, this is all it's going to be? No, you never have and you never will. Here's my thing with service organizations. You know what they're good for? Nothing. The VA makes you get these service organizations when you apply for a benefit. They do. Everybody has one of these representatives, whether it's DAV, VFW, Iran, Iraq veterans, or whoever are the list of these people that they have on here. And let me ask you all this. Have they ever gotten your medical records and sent them to the VA? Have they ever gone with you to a CNP exam? Have they ever gone with you or been sitting with you live when you've done a teleconference with the board? I'm waiting for somebody to tell me exactly what it is these people do other than occupy space in a government building for free, send out flyers to collect money, and then put on there that they help you get your award and you did all the legwork. You went and got the medical records. You went to the CNP exam. You did all the heavy lifting. What exactly is it that they do? That would be my question to anybody out there. Tell me something that a service organization actually does other than take credit and ask for money. Because they are just as guilty as the VA in my eyes, because they know this has been true for as long as they've been in existence. But yet they have never came out and said, this is how we're going to fight this. They've never offered a plan to do anything other than what has been done moving forward. So in this lawsuit, they shouldn't just name the Department of Veterans Affairs. They should name every service organization out there and include them in that as well, because they're just as guilty. If they want to take credit for always helping you, then they got to take credit for doing nothing. That is only fair. I can't get online and take credit for something you did all the work for and say, I helped you got it, but then turn around and be totally silent when the VA is caught doing something wrong. They're just as guilty. And anybody who's been to these organizations know they can go right online and look at the exact same thing that a reviewer or anybody else is looking at. And yet they say absolutely nothing. How many times have you all caught errors by the VA? But the people who represent you, who will send you that letter and said, did they help you? Did they catch that same error? Did they help at all with that? No, they don't. They don't. Okay? Now, there's some of you out there that's going to say, yeah, man, they helped me. You know, they did this paperwork for me. They do the bare minimum. You already had what you needed. You just didn't know how to put it into words. Now, if you want to say they helped you with that, cool. But if you're telling me that they actually physically helped you with something, I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. Because I know no one where they have actually gone and done a damn thing for other than send a letter taking credit for something they did nothing for. That's usually what they do. They are a complete waste of space and time. And again, they might as well be VA employees. They got an office right in the VA. They can look at anybody's file anytime that they want. And yet when it comes to making corrections, I've never heard of anybody say, yep, DAV went in, they saw what the error was, they filed this on my behalf, and they corrected it. Never happens. Never happens. They are a waste of space. I agree, took the BSO off my file. Yeah, they make you, and again, bro, they make you take one. It's not like you have a choice. They'll just assign you one. You don't believe me? Go to eBenefits and look at who your representative is. Because it's right there on eBenefits. It'll tell you. Until you get it off, it'll say, this is your representative. DAV, DFW, Afghanistan, Iraq veterans, and any of these other ones out there. This is what they do. They're just as guilty as the Department of Veterans Affairs. So I'm gonna tell you guys something that I've done here recently, which is I've contacted 2 of the cable news networks because I want to go on and I want to prove what the Department of Veterans Affairs have known about an issue I've had since 2013, and have done nothing. So I've already done the initial phase where I've talked to the producers, and I'm waiting for them to schedule for me to actually appear on CNN to talk about my specific case, where I present specific things along with phone calls that I have recorded, letting them know this is what needed to happen, and they didn't do it. Okay? The same thing with you guys who have claims going back in 2020. You guys remember in 2020 we had COVID, right? Okay. I had a claim in March of 2020. The VA closed all in-person visits in September of 2020. The exact time I was scheduled to do a CMP exam, right? They suspended everybody's claims that they needed to get an in-person visit. I was one of them. The VA then reopened my claim May 31st of 2021. They didn't get the exam and the paperwork they needed until July. So guess what the VA did when they approved my claim? They didn't go back to the date in March of 2020 that they suspended my claim from. No. They went from the date that the doctor signed, right? And you're like, well, wait a minute. How can you do that? Well, that's when the doctor gave the form. I was like, the doctor wouldn't have gave you this form back in September when you all suspended my claim? They got no answer for that. And my thing is, the government, the US government, started sending people home in March of 2020 for COVID. Those people have been at home, been getting paid the entire time they've been at home. But yet when it comes to a veteran, no, we're going to screw the veteran, right? We're going to say from the time the doctor signed the form. We're not going to go by the date that we actually suspended your claim and screw you out of all that time that we should pay you for. No, we're going to screw you out of that. And we're only going to pay you starting on this date. I'm not going to put up with it no more, dude. Not going to do it. All the inquiries to the White House, all the inquiries and filing forms, and it's been over 2 years, and these people still have not corrected it. Take it to the public. Do what politicians do when they have a problem. Do what politicians do when they want to get a bill passed. What do? They take it to the general public. What I'm going to do is take 2 issues I have with the Department of Veterans Affairs that are easy to prove to the public. As the VA gets out there and lies to the general public and tell people this is what they do to help veterans, I'm going to show how they screw veterans every chance they get. And as soon as I get a date to be a guest on CNN to talk about this, I'm going to let y'all see it. I'm going to do it live from here. I'm going to have it live on YouTube on here as I'm live on CNN. And this is going to happen going into 2023. I don't know the exact date. Now, the only way it doesn't happen, some miracle occurs and the VA decides to go ahead and pay me what they owe me, then I got no reason to get online and talk about this. Okay, I honestly won't have a leg to stand on because they would have paid me. But if they haven't paid me by the time I get ready to go live on CNN, you best believe I'm going to blast the shit out of all of it. With no hesitation, I'm going to blast every last bit of it because they're screwing us. They're lying to the public saying they're not screwing us. And I'm not going to deal with it anymore. HLR, your effective date. Dude, they know. Look, they know because anybody who filed a claim in 2020, right, and you had to have an in-person visit, they did not do it. They suspended all in-person visits and they suspended everybody's claim that had to have an in-person visit until the following year. So they know this. It's not like I'm making it up, bro. They went home because of COVID, but yet they don't want to pay veterans what they owe them because they suspended their claims. Mine was suspended over a year, over like a year and 4 months at, what was it, $1,100 a month that they owe me for a year and like 4 months. And they act like, they act like it didn't happen. It's like, no, dog. No. Because I've had like 3 other veterans ask me about it. Like, hey, I filed in 2020. I got approved, but they didn't give me the approval until this point in 2021 or this year in 2022. It's like, nah, that don't fly. That don't fly. And then one last thing I want to speak of, dude, duty to assist errors. The Department of Veterans Affairs is littered with cases where these people just don't want to do work. Okay? For those of you who file appeals, it may be a supplemental claim, it may be a higher review. Pay attention to the wording and pay attention to what they say they're going to do or what they found and what they should have done. Here's what I mean. If you put in a supplemental claim, right, and you say, I'm filing for a secondary condition, all right, and they see in your file you have this condition, but no doctor has connected it to your primary service connection. In that situation, what do you think the VA should do? Well, the VA supposedly has a duty to assist, meaning they're supposed to take whatever options they can to either prove or disprove, okay, that the veteran has this service connection. Let me tell you what they do instead. Nothing. They'll just say, well, this didn't happen in service, and we can't find a connection between this condition and your primary condition. Well, you know why they can't find it? Because they ain't looking for it. If they don't send you to a CMP exam, if they don't give you, or get a medical opinion about it, they're not looking for it. So they don't want to look for it. And in a lot of cases, guys, those of you who are beyond 100%, they're not trying to look for it because they don't want to pay you over a certain amount. It's just the truth. The more issues you have, the older you get, the worse they get, the more your rating's supposed to go up. They don't want that to happen. They'll take whatever steps they need to take to keep you at this level. They don't want you up here. They want you right here, right? If your ceiling, if they say, okay, his ceiling is $4,500 a month, that's it. We're not going to give them more than that. This is how they screw us every chance they get. And I'm telling y'all the truth, man. If you go back and you look at your file, you will see what I'm telling you. They screw us every chance they get. The only way you're going to stop these people, because this is our federal government, the only way you're going to do it is to make it public. You got to make it public. You can't be scared to get on TV. You can't be scared to talk to the press, okay? They're going to dig up whatever's from your past, whatever. Who gives a shit? The only way you're going to get justice in this country is the way every politician, every president who gets online gets whatever they want. They got to take it to the general public, and the general public has got to learn what these people are actually doing. As long as the government, the VA press secretary, as long as the VA secretary is the only ones talking, then everybody in the general public is only going to believe what they're saying. It's only until veterans get out there and tell their story so people can really see what is happening is the only way it's going to change. That's the only way. Some of you all know you have more than what they say is wrong with you. But yet most are too afraid to go to the press, to go seek help. They'll just put up with it. I'm not going to put up with it no more. I'm done putting up with it with the VA. I am done. Pay me what you owe me. Pay me what I'm entitled to. Because if you're saying, if you don't want me to have it, you shouldn't have laws and rules out there that says if you have these conditions, you met this, this is what you're entitled to. Then I'm going after what I'm entitled to. Let's say I'm 100% TDIU, just starting to feel stuck in life for the amount of money that I'll be receiving starting January 1st. Feel like I'm just living paycheck to paycheck. Well, yeah, I mean, in actuality, what are you getting? If you're only 100%, that's like 20 some bucks an hour. If you do it like somebody working a full-time job in 2022, going into 2023, that ain't enough money. Most major cities in California, you can't afford to live there on that. New York, you can't. No. You have to adjust your lifestyle to what you're being paid, pretty much. That's just what it is. You know, $3,500, $3,600, $3,700 a month, that's poverty. That's poverty in the U.S. What is that a year? You know, I'm so damn upset I ain't got time to figure it out. But that is poverty, bro. You know, you are poverty line. Even at $40,000 a year, what is $40,000 a year? 40,000 a year is what? 58? No, 48. That's poverty. 4,000, 12 months is 48. That's poverty. I think the just above poverty, I believe, is 55 or 60,000 in the U.S. Yeah, I mean, if that is your only income source, and I tell people all the time, bro, you need to find other income source. I'm not saying for you to go work, especially being on TDIU, but if you got money you can put in the market, you got online stuff that you can do that'll keep generating revenue. That's like the best thing for you. Trying to live on that, I'm be honest, that is tough. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't no way in hell I'd be over here. If that's all I had, ain't none of these countries I live in. I'd be right in the States trying to figure it out, living in small town USA. What's up, Mr. B? Feel like packing up and leaving for a year with my money. Now I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. Y'all think overseas is so much cheaper, and it can be, but you got to understand something, and this is hard to convey to people when you're watching other people online fill you with this story. If you're going to live like you live in the United States, a Western lifestyle, it ain't enough. If you think you can come over here and live a Western, listen to the keywords I'm giving you guys, Western, first world lifestyle that you are accustomed to in the United States of America. I want y'all to hear me clearly. $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 is not enough. People here who live on that, they live in the sticks. They live way out. They 45 minutes, an hour, some 2 hours outside the city. Okay? They got no hot water unless they installed it in there. They got no washing machine. They washing clothes by hand. If you want to do all that and put up with all that, then do that. But anybody who's realistically living overseas, coming from the United States, living in these countries, if you think $1,500, $2,000 is going to be enough for you, no. Because you're going to make all kinds of sacrifices you ain't never made in the United States of America to live in these countries. I'm just being honest with you. What's up, Mr. Miles? How you doing? What's going on, Mr. B? I'm like Bernie Mac. I'm not scared of. No, dude, they going to dig up whatever. They're going to try to find whatever to make you look bad, make you sound bad, whatever. Okay? So what? So what? Is that doing that going to change what they have done to you? No, it's not. What they do to people versus them saying, okay, well, you had an Article 15 back in 1995. Who the fuck cares? Most people don't even know what Article 15 is. But people understand when you're screwing them out of something, because the general public thinks that the VA is doing all these things to help these veterans, and the VA will get up there with a straight face and lie their ass off to these people, because they know if the general public actually knows what these people are doing, shit, it wouldn't go the way it's going. Let's see, with SSDI, I'll be getting about $5,800 starting January. I feel like leaving for Mexico for a bit. That goes a long way. Now, yeah, you talking 58, yeah. Now you can live a Western lifestyle, right? You good to go with that kind of income in Mexico. You'll have more than enough. If something goes wrong, you can get back across the border. But, just on 100%, people ask me that, man, to be like, dude, you crazy. You can live on that. Yeah, depends on how you're living. But with that kind of income, yeah, you'll be fine in these countries. What's your question, bro? I just don't like bothering them too much. I feel like I feel kind of bad being demanding to them when they probably don't even have enough resources to take care of vets in worse situations with no legs and no arm. Bro, they screw everybody. See, when you think like that, JM, that's how they want you to think. Our government got resources to send money overseas to people. They got resources to help you with whatever situation you got. There's people with no arms and no legs. These people are only getting 30 and 40% because they don't know how to go back and ask for what they're entitled to, or they've been conditioned to believe that if they go ask them for something, they're going to take the little bit they got away. That's not how the system works. My friend actually recommended this channel to me. Do you know Joe? He says he knows you personally. Joe? I don't remember. Not right now. Like if it's they went by some other nickname or I seen a photo of him or something. But just Joe off the bat, no, I don't recall a Joe. Sorry. Joe Mom. Oh my God, we got one of these on here. Dude, you got nothing else to do to get online and troll this early. It's like, come on, man. But yeah, guys, so I just wanted to announce that, man. I am going on CNN at some point in 2023, unless I get paid what I'm owed from the Department of Veterans Affairs. They are aware of it. They've been made aware of this going into end of November. I think I called CNN. I talked to their producers. I sent them some information to show where they basically are screwing me, and I'm not going to take it no more. So what I have been doing is, and I advise anybody to do this, record all your phone calls with the Department of Veterans Affairs, any letters that they send you saying that they did this, that, and the third. Make sure that you get copies of it. Do not just let these people screw you over. Don't let them do it. How you doing? I have a CMP evaluation through VES, Veterans Evaluation Services. Yeah, I've used them before. I've used them here actually, and they tried to send me to an exam on El Centro. The hell no. So now they got me going through QTC, and I was supposed to have an exam, bro, over a month ago. I called to inquire about my exam. And they go, well, did they get in contact with you? I said, yeah, a month ago. Okay, well, they're trying. I said, well, how long do you all expect me to wait for them to try? Well, they got in contact. I said, no, that ain't good enough. I said, the person who's working on my file should have contacted these people to find out what is going on. So I put an inquiry in today. Bro, if you allow these people to take their time, not do their job, they're not going to be in no rush. They get to it when they feel like it. It's like, hell no, I'm not one of those. Nancy Pelosi has a freezer in her house just to accommodate Italian ice cream. These politicians are real folks taken from the system. Man, they've been doing that for years. Like what I said, bro, the general public is the people we need to go to. Just talking to politicians, just talking to the VA, you ain't never gonna get nowhere from the VA. They gonna slow walk it. They gonna tell you all this crap that they doing, and they ain't doing a damn thing. Calling the White House and putting in an inquiry. Okay, they gonna slow walk it. Talking to your Congress people, sometimes they get on it, but most of the time they gonna slow walk it. If you think about any point in history, when has change occurred? When it has gone public. Anything that has happened that they have gone public with and exposed it publicly, because most people are unaware that most veterans go through this stuff, bro, because the VA and these service organizations are the only ones out there giving BS lip service. Until veterans themselves, actual veterans who are in the system, start talking to the press and let the general public know what really happens when you call that 800 number. What really happens when you file a claim and they don't get it right. And you have to file a appeal. And that appeal takes a year, 2 years. And then you got to go before the board. That may take another 5 years, 7 years. The general public doesn't know this. Because if you just out there as a layman person and you listen to a VA press conference, you would think these veterans are getting everything they owed and there's never been an issue with the Department of Veterans Affairs. Because that's what they hear. That's what they hear from service organizations. They don't hear the actual truth from veterans who are in the system dealing with this BS on a daily basis. They have plenty of money. It just goes to the wrong people, VA contractors and higher up. What do you think these VES, QTCs, and all these other services now available for veterans? These are all contracts, bro. Government contracts. They send you to exams sometimes that you don't even need, and then the ones you do need, they don't even send you to those because they don't want to pay you. Mr. B said, I'll go with you. Is the increase in pay supposed to take effect? Yeah, it takes effect the end of December. December 30th, if you're receiving VA and Social Security, you should get it. It depends on the account that you got, right? So here's how it should go. If you have a early retirement or a VA account, either with USAA, Navy Federal, Pentagon Federal, you should get paid on the 29th. If you have a regular account, right, you should get paid on the 30th. If you're getting it from Direct Express, you should either get it on the 30th or you're going to get it on the 1st. But that 8.7% increase does not take effect until the end of December, not the beginning of December. What's up, Howard? What's going on, man? I have over 21 years of information. Yeah, I'm telling you, Mr. B, you have to let people know. If people don't know, no change is gonna come about. What's up, Mr. Lawson? How you doing today? I have travel pay that still hasn't been processed since June. Damn. And that, bro, I'm telling you, increased paycheck starts on January 1st. Yeah, so it depends on when they get their direct deposit. I'm dealing with the same issue with the VA. They booked my CNP exam appointment in the U.S., even though I told them, JX, I'm telling you, bro, they don't look at your file. They don't care. All they look at is an address. Okay, he's in Texas. They set up an exam in Texas. They've done me like that I don't know how many times. Like I have a mailing address, and I tell them all the time, this is my mailing address for direct deposit and mail, okay? Miami. I've said this, and I've had it recorded at least 10 to 12 times now. Do they change anything? No, they don't. Do they read anything? No, they don't. You're constantly, and bro, JX, this is how they screw us. They'll say, well, you didn't show up for your CNP exam. You're like, what's CNP exam? You never got a letter. They don't call you, even though they may have your overseas number. They don't call you. They'll send out a letter, and they'll give a specific time on the letter, and you may not get the letter for 3 months. They'll say, oh, well, you got 60 days to reply to this letter. You get the letter 2 months after they sent it. You're like, what the hell is this? They screwing us. The same thing happened with my father with his effective date with the VA. So yes, it had. Oh, man, I'm telling y'all. Exactly. They use my mailing. Yes, they don't read anything. They don't look at anything. And JX, it doesn't matter how many times you tell them, I'm in this country. I'm not even in the United States. They don't read nothing. They don't look at your file, bro. They just look at an address. And then here's the other thing, JX, it's not even going to the right department. When you're overseas, there's only 2 places it's supposed to go, depending on the region that you're in. So with the Philippines, yours should be going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But when they get your file and they see the address, it's worked on just like anybody else's file in the U.S., which is wrong. Like with me, I'm south of the U.S. Houston, Texas is where my file is supposed to go. They never sent it to Houston, Texas. Okay? When you're overseas, you're south of the border, Houston, Texas. Everybody else, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I guarantee you, if you call them right now, ask them, where's my file? Oh, it's been worked on and such and such. Well, why isn't it not in Pittsburgh? Why would it be in Pittsburgh? You're not overseas. Yes, I am overseas. Have them look at your file. Have them look at where they sent stuff or send you to a CNP exam. Then they realize, oh shit, we made a mistake. Let's see, I served in the first Persian Gulf War and Operation Restore in Somalia. I rated at 10%, damn, by the VA. My friend Boxer from 4 all the Marine teams received numerous concussions. He's rated at 80%. Not surprising, man. It's just how these people are, man. And I'm telling y'all, dude, I'm pleading with you all. If you all don't let people know, and when I say people, I'm talking about the general public. You have to go to the press. You have to get on these news stations. You have to let people know what you're going through. Because if you don't let them know what you're going through, it's never going to change. It's never going to change. The government gets out, sends out their puppets, and they puppets paint this rosy picture, and people think, oh man, we're taking care of our vets. What? Ask a vet. Ask a veteran if they're being taken care of. Ask any veteran. If I were to ask you guys right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel the Department of Veterans Affairs has been taking care of you with your issues? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm being honest. If you take a moment and think about it, right? Because I don't want to say that every situation is the same, right? When I was going to the San Diego VA, that was the best experience I've ever had with a Department of Veterans Affairs, was in San Diego. All right. Anything that I needed, even when I was in the Dominican Republic and I needed my braces, those people sent me those braces FedEx. I got them the next day. So I'm not going to say it's every single person that works for the Department of Veterans Affairs, because there are some people out there who really try, but there's only so much they can do. That's on the hospital side, administration side. But when it comes to compensation side, oh, hell no. I think all of those people are full of shit. I think all of those people try their best to keep you from getting what is rightfully owed to you. That's my opinion. They do not read your old records. My doctor stated the system does not show all of your old records. I've seen a doctor for 20 years ago pointed it out. Okay. They don't look. I know they don't, bro. And it's like, if you got a foreign phone number, why the hell would you have a foreign phone number living in Miami? But to them, they don't care. They just want to get to the next file. They just want to them, bro, we're just numbers. We're just names and numbers. They don't see people's lives. They don't see people's livelihood. They don't see a family that's about to be in the street because they're taking forever to make a decision. It's just a name and a number. They have become so desensitized to being human beings that they're looking at, that how these files affect real people's lives. And the same with Social Security. They have become so desensitized, right? It's just a file name and a file number. No other thing do they look at, right? How long has this veteran been waiting? 3 years? What has this veteran gone through in those 3 years before the VA realized, hey, we need to take care of this guy? They have no idea and they don't care. They don't care. It's just as simple as that, bro. Real talk. These people do not care. And I'm telling you all, the only way you're going to affect change, you have to let the public know what these people are doing. That's the only way. The only way. Because it's never going to stop. It's like politicians, man. If you notice, politicians constantly campaigning. They're constantly trying to get the word out. They're constantly trying to get you to understand or take their side, right? And people who listen to it enough start to go, okay, yeah, okay, they doing this. The VA does the same thing. Lip service every month. Skip one. Long Beach, California, first class VA service. The best services I began this walk fight. Yeah. My best experience, dude, was in San Diego. And that one in Phoenix, oh my God. Horrible. Okay, now I want to separate some stuff. There are people at the Phoenix VA who really try to help you. I don't want to make it sound like it's every single person. I've had some doctors and some psychiatrists who really, really try to help you. They put stuff in your file. The company pen office will just straight ignore. Okay, that's not the doctor's fault. Okay, that's not the therapist's fault. That's not the primary doctor's fault. That is the VA employees at Compen. All right, so I can't blame everything on the hospital or the clinic that you go to, but it's Compen, bro. Compen and VA, I'm sorry, not VA, Social Security side, state side that makes decisions. These people do not care. I have to be honest, the VA has been great so far over my PTSD issues. I don't trust the compensation side. I heard a lot of the raters are not even veterans, and even jealously can affect a rating. Yes. Now, there are a lot of people who work at the VA who are veterans, which makes it even crazier that you got people that you may have fought aside, who may have been working along or fought with, and they'll go, well, I don't want them to get more than I get. Nah. And then supervisor sign off on it. He like, what's up, Mr. Steele? How you doing today? Talking to Mr. Miles, Mr. Steele. He said a 7. I'm in a mostly black area, so I think that makes a difference. Memphis area has been pretty decent to vets. Okay. Okay, so you say it's about a 7. Yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think, man. Of all the services that you got from the VA, how would you rate it 1 to 10? Okay. For me, thinking back on it, I would say probably a 6. I would give it a 6 because I've had great experiences dealing with the medical side of the VA. The compensation side is a nightmare. I don't care who you are. I know it's a nightmare. But hospitals and clinics that I've been to, I would say a 6. Like I said, San Diego was my best experience so far. I would rate Phoenix as one of the worst. I've been to the VA in New York. I've been to the one in Florida. I've been to the one in South Carolina, Atlanta, Alabama, Texas, and Arizona. Those are the ones I've been to. And of all those, like I said, man, if I were to go back to the States, I don't give a damn where I'm living. I would want to go back to the one in San Diego. That was my best experience with people who actually said they were going to do something, and then they did it and got it done. I co-signed Long Beach VA is solid. Okay. Talking to J Love. Mr. B said a 5. Okay, Mr. B. Medical side, I would say a 9. CNP, a 2. Yeah, CNP, man, everybody. I don't care who you are. You've had a nightmare with Compass Pen. I give it a 9 for my PTSD treatment in the Bay Area, San Francisco. Okay, J Love. Appreciate that, man, because there might be some vets who are thinking about moving to those areas. And, they would want to know what you guys' experiences are dealing with the VA. Now, I can tell you, being overseas, right? Google talking. Over here, it's not bad. If you were to go to one of these third parties, it's not bad. And I've said this before. Sometimes you have to be the one to regulate them because they're in business to make money. I've said this before. And here especially, even when you don't think you got anything going, they're going to call you up the day before and say, hey, you got this appointment tomorrow at 9, as if I have no other life outside of going to VA appointments. And it's like, no, or going to these third-party appointments, right? It's like, nah, dog. So even though I'm still talking to some of my doctors online through telehealth, I'm going to go back to them because it's much easier to get medication through them, right? So I'm going to go back to them starting in January. But I've already told them, I'm not doing no x-rays. A bunch of x-rays y'all already got. I'm not doing a bunch of MRIs and all that stuff that you all already got. Because nothing, what is going to change with me with them doing it? Just to have it on their records. For what? What is the benefit of them having it on their records when they already got it in the States? None. It's just, this is how they get to write a bill so they can get a check from the VA. So it's like, nah, dog, I ain't doing all that. Y'all live all the way. Wait, y'all live all the way, live. Good evening. What topic is on deck today? I'm just going over some Q&As, and I was talking about me going live, Mr. Collins, on CNN sometime in 2023. If I don't get paid from the VA by the time I get called to go on live on CNN. Let's see. If you are a person of color, they treat you different at the hospitals and for ratings. And like I said, man, don't leave out these service organizations. They're just as guilty as the VA. These service organizations love to take credit for stuff they don't do. And I mentioned this earlier. They love to take credit for crap they had absolutely nothing to do with. But they don't want to take any blame for them being sued. See, these lawyers that sue the VA, they should add them service organizations in there as well. Atlanta VA Hospital, a 2. Damn. Long Beach VA Hospital, a 9. Okay, Mr. Miles. Let's see. If you are in pain, your face don't turn red. Okay. Let's see. CNP examiners make a huge difference in experience. My first experience was a cool young black woman whose husband was also trying to get his disability. Okay. Yeah, they do. You have some men who have empathy for you. They try to help you when you come in. I don't mean help like cheat or put something down that's not there. But you have some who have empathy. You have some who see when you come in and they look at your file and they know, yeah, this vet's in rough shape. And then you have some, and let's be honest, they pay you no attention. They never looked at your file when you walked in the door. They're just trying to get you in and get you out to get to the next vet. That's just the truth. And then they'll sometimes confuse what vet they saw. They'll say, you don't have back issues. You never went in there for a back. You went in there for your leg, or you went in there for your arm. So, I mean, it's crazy sometimes how this works. My nephew was a nurse at the Atlanta VA hospital. He lasted 1 year. Okay. Let's see. It depends. Service officers, not their organization. I blame all of them, Mr. D, because they're aware that this has been happening for a long time. There's no way they're not aware. They have access to the system. They can look at that system the same way an VA employee can. So there's no way that they were not aware. And it's been systematic. The government has already admitted, right, that this was systematic. They know this has been going on for years, but they've never really done anything to correct the problem. That's why I say these service organizations are just as guilty as the Department of Veterans Affairs. Because, Mr. B, as I mentioned earlier, tell me the time the service organization sent you a letter saying that veterans of color are receiving lower rates and less benefits than their counterparts. Can anybody tell me a letter that they got from any service organization that says that? Tell me the service organization that says, you know what, this rating isn't right. We're going to fight to get you a higher rate. Or you're entitled to get this SMC and we're going to fight to get you this SMC. Or we're going to go get your medical records and submit them. Or we're going to help you get your medical records and submit them. When have they ever done that? When have they ever gone with you or sat down with you at a hearing that's a teller hearing or a video conference hearing and explain anything? When have they done that? They don't. They don't do any of it. But they quick to send you a letter that says, we helped you get this. And you ask them, well, what did you do? Explain to me, what did you do when you send me this letter saying that you helped? What did you help with? You didn't go to the CNP exam. You didn't get my medical records. You didn't write up anything because I'm looking at my file. So what exactly do they do? Is my thing is, what exactly do they do when they take credit for when you do get your claim? What do they do? Jacksonville, Florida is a 7, but we'll give you community care. Okay. I was blessed from 0 to 100% P&T in the last 2 years. Good CNP exam, SMC. Thanks to you, brother. It's all good, Mr. Lawson. No letter from my VSO, and you never will. The only letter you're gonna get, Mr. Miles, we helped get you this. And you're like, what did you do? That's my whole point is, bro. What do they do? None, zero, nada, else. Exactly my point. But they are quick to say we help, and they quick to ask for donations. I'm sure if you DAV, because I used to be DAV, them mugs send me letters every month. Please donate X amount so you can be this member, or donate this so you can do this. I'm like, for what? What did y'all help with? They knew what was going on now. They don't get back pay and retro play. Black veterans, that will end up the conversation. Yeah, end the conversation, bro. And let me help out some people out there because this question is coming and we got it last Saturday, right? So the guy was like, okay, so what happens if they go back and they didn't give you something you were supposed to have? Well, it depends on when it happens. So for example, let's say you're 100% now, and you should have been 100% 5 years ago. Like you got evidence to show you should have been 100% P&T. Let's say, let me just use numbers so people can follow me. Let's say that you were 100%, you got 100% in 2020, but you should have been 100% in 2015, and you can prove it. If you can prove that, then yeah, they got to take it from whatever date they paid you, all the way back to that date moving forward. Okay. Same with SMCS or same with anything, right? But if you're already 100 and say they screwed up and didn't give you service connection for your hand, and it would have been like 20% that wouldn't have really affected anything, you'll get the 20%, but there's no back pay to pay you because you've already been 100%. You guys understand what I'm saying? So even though there are cases out there where they have screwed veterans, in some of those cases, there's not going to be back pay because you're already 100%. They just didn't give you the rating or service connection on something you should have had. You guys follow what I'm saying? So some people, yeah, they're going to get paid going way back because they should have gotten it earlier, or they should have gotten the SMC, or they should have gotten whatever. But there are some people who are going to get nothing because they're already 100. They just didn't put in things that they were supposed to have unless it puts them in the SMC category. At the monthly DAB meeting, I sat down 4 seats for my service officer. Nothing, zero, none, zero, zip, not a peep. And you're not going to get nothing. But when a claim, Mr. Miles, they're going to see in that letter, well, we help you get this percentage. And I always go, what the hell did y'all do? DAV always puts on a show with their convention, with the back slap and doing nothing for fighting for veterans. Yeah, like I said, bro. But some people, you know, they'll say, hey, they helped me by writing a letter, or they helped me, I don't know, set up for the board hearing or the board meeting. And it's like, dude, that's the bare minimum. You don't need anybody to set you up for a board meeting. You can do that on your own. You can go to va.gov, file an appeal online now. You don't even have to send in a letter. You can just file it online, just like you can a claim, and you get the option. Do you want to go before a board? Okay. And then they ask you, how do you want the hearing to go? Do you want a judge to just make a decision? Do you want to do a conference call? Or do you want to have via video conference? You get the option now. So they're doing the bare minimum. Any other questions, man, before I get out? Because it's about to be an hour. I don't want these to run too long. People be wanting me to do cliff notes. It's like, I ain't doing no cliff notes. Let's see. Do you live on a budget with a certain percentage saved per month in Colombia? Yes. So for me, I do $100 a day is what I budget. Okay. That's not including rent. That's not including paying for anybody that works for me. I budget $100 per day. $100 a day here, because it's not like I go out every day. I don't want to make it seem like I go out every single day. But my budget is $100 a day. $100 a day here, I can pretty much handle whatever the issue is. So say I don't only go out 4 days out of the week, you know, that's like $150, $160 a day, right? Or if I go out 3 days out of the week, you know, that's over $200 per day that I go out to handle whatever, right? That's how I did it. Now in the States, I obviously had to use a much bigger budget in the States. And again, that's not including rent, any services, or any help I have, like with the caregiver, the maid, the driver. That's not including none of that, right? That's what I budget, me, per day. And I was going to speak about this, right, in a video I was going to do next week. I'm going to start talking about budgeting and finances, right? Because I think one of the biggest things, and I'll mention this real quick, and then I'm going to get out. One of the biggest things that I found where I'm spending money that I'm not realizing I'm spending is through these subscription services, right? Like you'll sign up for Netflix. How often do you watch Netflix? I may watch it once or twice in a month. So I'm paying, well, here it's cheaper. It's like, I think I pay $8 a month for the top plan in 4K because it goes by where you are. Like if I was in the States, I think it's like what, $20-some in the States. But here it's like $8 for their top plan. And I cut that off. I don't even use it. Another one is like Apple Music. I was on the Apple One, which is like $25 a month. I'll just do the math real quick and I'll end this. So we got $8 a month let's just say $8 for Netflix. It was $25 a month for Apple Music streaming service with Apple TV and all the other crap, right? So we had $33. Then I had Google Music, right? I barely listened to that. Plus the other stuff that they offer with all the memory, because I put everything now on these giant memory cards. That was another $20 a month. So where we at? We're at $53, okay? These other subscription services that I had for like video editing, most of you guys are never gonna do that, but I had one that was $15 a month, and then I had another one that was $20-some a month. It's like $22 or something like that. When Power Director, you just pay one time, $35, and you can use that for the whole year. So all in all, bro, it came out to be over $100 I'm paying in subscription services every month for stuff I wasn't even using, right? So when you add it up, let's just say $100 a month. That's $1,200 I lost in a year for stuff I wasn't even using. It's the same way when people live overseas and you don't have a bank account that pays you back ATM fees. Like if you were one of these fly-by-night banks, you don't have like a Navy Federal, a Capital One, a Charles Schwab, or a Merrill Lynch, or somebody who doesn't charge you international fees. You're not using your debit card because they're going to charge you on your debit card. I hope y'all understand. Now, if you're overseas and you're using your debit card, you're getting hit with a fee, whether it's $1.30 every time you use it or $2 every time you use it. These are all things that you got to consider when you're going overseas. Like if you're with some secondary bank, man, you're getting hit with fees left and right. Every time you go to an ATM and you pull out $200 of your money, they may be charging you $7, $8, and say you got to pay your rent cash, and say your rent is $600. You're taking that out 3 times just to pay your rent. So you lost like $15 to $20 every month just on rent. And then everything else you do, let's just say you don't use any credit cards and you're just dealing in cash. And you go to the ATM twice a week to take out $400 a week. So you're basically losing between $50 to $60 a month, right? By using this secondary bank, living overseas, and then you add that up for a year. That's $720 of your money you lost every year because you're living here and you got some bank in the States that's just racking up money off you. That's how people here, I'm telling you, man, I see it here, I hear about it, I read about it. When people decide to leave their country to go to another country, people don't normally take in consideration all of the costs and everything that's involved with it, right? Because I know with Navy Federal or USAA, Pentagon Federal, Capital One, Charles Schwab, Merrill Lynch, if you got particular accounts, you can get that money back. I use credit cards. I don't use debit cards. I don't do the mom and pop spots because most of them don't take credit cards. They take cash. Well, in order for me to get points that I can cash out at the end of the year and to make sure I'm not getting counterfeit bills, because that's one of the things that's currently going on here. A lot of people are getting exchanged counterfeit bills and losing money. I just deal directly with credit and pay it off at the end of the month, just like cash. And I'm good. I don't have those kind of worries. But when you're used to doing it in the US and you're dealing with cash and you think you're saving money by going to these mom and pop spots, you're constantly pulling out cash, which means you're constantly losing money that you're not getting back. You guys follow what I'm saying? Anytime somebody's telling you, well, I just deal with cash in the mom and pop spots, I guarantee you, they're losing far more money than what they're telling you. That $2 hamburger plus the ATM fee, you just spent $7 to get a $2 hamburger because they don't look at it that way. They don't look at the money that they're losing. They're only looking at what they took out and what they're spending. And then at the end of the month, they go, how come I ain't got no money in savings? All your savings just went to the bank that's in the States and the bank that's here because they're hitting you with fees every time. And y'all do know these organizations get bonuses when you get increases. That's a well-kept secret for doing nothing. The government employees, man, they work in the same building as the U.S. government. How they not government employees? How much is rent for this current modern spot you're in? I pay a little more than 620. It just went up. I was paying under 6. It's like 620. And then okay, so I have to explain this, all right? Because I didn't get my place, right? My friends got this place for me. Had I got this place, I'll be paying what everybody else is paying for the same place, which is about a little more than $1,000 a month. But I didn't get. That's why I keep telling y'all, man, you gotta have local friends here. My housekeeper got this place. They thought it was for her, so she got the local rate. Had I went up here and got it, oh, I'll be paying $1,100 easily, $1,000 to $1,100 easily, and that includes everything. All the furniture in here. Well, that's all my camera stuff, but all the furniture in here, all the services, water, gas, electricity, cable, phone, all that's included. Trying to see what else. Yeah, everything. Only thing I brought, clothes, tech. That's it. Everything else belongs to the landlord. You telling me people still using cards with foreign transactions? Bro, man, y'all, bro. Bro, people here lose so much money, man. And they get online and they lie. And y'all be like, bro, how come y'all be talking about this or you talking about this, bro? Because I'm here living it. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've been somewhere. An American person will come up to me and go, hey, man, where's the best place to get the best rate for the banks? And I'm like, you getting ready to spend a bunch of cash? He's like, yeah, I need to take out some cash. I'm like, dude, you better off using a credit card. Well, I ain't got a credit card. I just got a debit card. I'm like, bro, you came all the way over here and all you got is a debit card? Losing money like hell. And, and people will swear that going to a local market, right? Local markets don't take credit cards. They only take cash. How you going to get cash? You got to go to the ATM to pull it out. So whatever you thought you were paying, you might as well add those fees on top of it because you ain't getting it for free. And especially if it's a secondary bank, man, they just want to be here, dude, to lose money. They just losing money every month. I'm not in the business of losing money. There's too much I want to do for me to be giving away $60, $70, $100 a month in ATM fees just to be here. That is not worth it to me. That's not worth it. Sounds like you got a. Oh yeah, I did. Because in this area, go on Airbnb. Tell you what you do. Go on Airbnb, right? Or Vrbo or Home Away from Home or Booking.com, hotels. Look at any of those sites. Put in 30 days in the Golden Mile. Just put Poblado, Golden Mile, right? I'm in a 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom, washer, all that stuff in it, right? Put in there how much you think, or put in that area, Golden Mile, El Poblado, 1-bedroom, and see how much it is. Guarantee you, it ain't nothing here less than $1,000 a month. Not one thing less than 1,000. It's gonna be 5 millones and above, easily. I can also make you this promise. I guarantee you, I'm paying less than some of the people that live in areas far worse. And the Americans, and they got their own place, guarantee you I'm paying less. The Congress just reinstated the law for organizations to review your case by the VA rates us. They need to have us talk to the raters. They're not going to do that. I can represent myself better than those. Yeah. Dude, that's a setup. The organizations work for the government. Come on, man. You got an office right in the government building with the VA. And you want me to honestly believe that you're going to represent me? Come on, man. USAA is good overseas. Yeah, you can get some of your ATM fees back. And this is why I tell you guys, man, open up multiple checking accounts. That way you get multiple debit cards and you get more, and you can get more out without losing money, right? Like most of you all who have these accounts know, if you have a active duty checking account, you can get $20 a month back in ATM fees. Okay. You have an everyday checking account, you get $10 back of ATM fees, right? So I have 4 with Navy Federal, and they don't charge you nothing for having accounts. You ain't even got to have nothing in it. I got 1, I don't keep nothing in it. I just transfer money if I need to use that to get the ATM fee. Okay, transfer money, I'm taking some money out, cool. I know at the end of the month, usually around the 26th or the 27th of every month, I get that money back. That's how you have to make a plan when you coming over here to not lose money. You don't make a plan, man, to give money away. Some of these people come over here, bro, they just, okay, put it on a debit card. And then you get a credit card that has no overseas charges. Navy Federal, USAA is great for that. You know, I got 3 cards from Navy Federal. None of them have overseas fees. I got 3 cards from Capital One, from American Express, no overseas charges, none. And then you get people that come over here, dude, stay at the ATM, and they wonder why they broke every month. Why you had me sleeping on that BMW 7 Series? Wow, I got to go test drive. What do you mean had you sleeping on it? I don't think did I ever show my 7 Series on here? I think I might have showed it on the old channel. The only one I've seen, I think you guys have seen, yeah, on the old channel, before I started this new channel, the 7 Series was on that, the Tesla was on that, and the drop top Beamer was on that, and my work truck, and my gray truck, and the Camaro. I had a bunch of cars on the old channel. On this channel, in the last 2 years, I think you guys have only seen the X5, maybe the Camaro too. The Camaro and the X5, I think, is the only ones on this one. Let's see. I got USAA and Capital One, but I find myself money is. I'm trying to understand how money is cheaper, bro. Y'all gonna have to explain that one to me, because the only way you get money is to take it out the ATM, and you only got so many times if you don't have all those accounts I'm talking about before you get hit with a fee. So I'm still trying to understand how it's cheaper, because, okay, you shop at a mom and pop spot, right? And let's say you spend $100, and let's say I spend the same amount, $100, right? And I'm using a credit card. How is it cheaper? Because I'm not being charged anything using my credit card, where every time you go take out cash, you're getting charged. So I'm just trying to understand how it's cheaper, right? Or let's say I go to a national chain, you go to a local whatever, right? And sure, you may end up getting a little bit more than I'm gonna get, right? But if I spend $200 a month on groceries, you spend $200 a month on groceries, who's coming out cheaper? Me, because I'm not paying a fee. You're gonna pay a fee every time you go to an ATM. Unless you got an account with that bank and you're taking out money you already got in that account, you're paying way more than you think. You're just not adding that fee in. So the active duty checking account in Navy Federal is a debit card. Does that incur a fee? Yes. Yes. The active duty checking account. Okay, here, and it's like any other bank. When you go to the bank to take money out, the bank here has a fee, and they'll tell you on the screen. Usually it's like $2 or $3, depending on the bank that you go to. So you got the fee from the bank here, and then your bank charges you a fee. Now, if you're just using your debit card, say like with Rappi, say I want to order something from Rappi, and I'm charging it to my debit card, not my credit card. They're going to charge my card, but then when you go look at your statement, there's going to be another fee for like $1.30 or $1.50 that they charged you because you use your debit card overseas. But if you use your credit card, there's no charge. That's the difference. That 2023 is a fire good 2023 is fire good by Challenger. Okay. Credit unions are cheaper, but they still have overseas fees now. I don't want anybody to think you come over here with just a debit card, and every time you use that debit card, they hitting you with a fee. If you go back and you check your bank statement and you use that debit card, say you use it at a restaurant or you used it at whatever store, there's a fee that they charge you for that. Now, if you haven't used it that much, it'll be included in that refund they give you at the end of the month. But if all you use is debit cards everywhere you go, you're gonna be looking at all them fees you got at the end of the month. I missed the beginning. Where do you usually do cash exchange? I know the airport is I don't do cash exchange. I never understood that with y'all bringing cash. Okay, I've gone over this. Big Boost has gone over this. If you know you're going, say you coming to Colombia, you know how much you plan on spending while you're in Colombia. Go to your bank and get currency from your bank. Why y'all coming with cash to go find an ATM? I've never understood that. I still to this day don't understand that. Your bank has every denomination of every country. I don't care where you're going. Your bank has that denomination. So if I'm gonna spend $1,000 while I'm here in Colombia, I'm going to my local bank. I'm getting $1,000 worth of Colombian pesos. So when I arrive in the country, I already got cash. I'm not looking for an ATM. I'm not looking for nothing. Nothing. And your bank will deliver it to you at your house. You ain't even gotta go. I've never understood why y'all go to these places, man, with cash when your bank has the denomination. Now, say you don't spend the whole $1,000. Okay, take what you don't spend back to the States, back to your bank, and put that money back in your account. You done. You done. I used to go to the DR when I left to come back to the States and go back to the DR. I go straight to my bank. Okay, I'm gonna spend how much this month? Well, how much is this is gonna be? How much is this gonna be? Okay, I need $800 in Dominican pesos. Get on the plane. I already got $800 in Dominican pesos. I'm not outside trying to figure out how much it is I need to pay the Uber, how much it is I need to pay the taxi, or how much it is I need to get to this person. I got pesos on me. I do not have to go to no money exchange place. None of that. I just don't get y'all to do that, man. If the bank refunds the ATM fees, is that the best option? That's what I do here. Now, obviously, my bank is not here. So if I need cash, I'll go to an ATM, use a debit card that I have that pays back my ATM fees, whether it's Navy Federal. Dude, I have USAA, Navy Federal, Capital One, Merrill Lynch, Charles Schwab. I'm covered, right? And I talked about this before. Don't ever leave the United States with one debit card. You lose that one debit card, you screwed. I don't know why people travel like that. That makes no sense to me. And then you got to FedEx a card and pay for that because most banks ain't going to do it for free. You got to pay for them to send it next day air or whatever so you can get your debit card. Yeah. Come on, man. I have at least, and I ain't lying, it's no BS. I got 8 debit cards. 8. Because say my magnetic strip on the back, for whatever reason, gets stripped. I can't get no money out. Now I got to call the bank to get another card. For me, okay, that one's no good. Boom. Go get the next card. I'm still off and running. Take care of whatever I need to take care of. But I'm telling you guys, the majority of the time, I'm using a credit card. One of these. Navy Federal credit card. Okay? I got a local bank account here with Bancolombia. Okay? I keep a couple $100 in there for emergency situations. But the majority of the time, I'm operating off a credit card. And I showed you guys this before. Cash I have, like right now, all I got, 52,000 Colombian pesos. That's it. I don't need no more than that. That's it. I don't need to be walking around with a bunch of cash. For what? Don't need it. Anything I'm going to do, credit card. End of the month, pay it off. Credit card. I get the points. Come the end of the year, I can cash the points out and get cash or send, like I'm doing this year. I'm sending out these these gift cards to people, $50, $100. Cool. It's like, bro, y'all got to think, and when y'all going to these places, y'all spending money. and you wonder where your money's going because you ain't looking at your account. Every time I take money out, I go back and I look at my account to see what the bank did, and I write down, okay, I took out this, they charged me $6. Just say they charged me $6 to take that out. Okay, I know that's $6 out of the $20, so I got $14 left. When I get that last 14 on that one, I put that card away. I go to the next debit card. I know I got $10 in fees I can take out for that one. I don't know how y'all do it, man, but I'm like, I ain't trying to get no money away. I don't do that. 3 cards from Navy Federal all have 25. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Lawson. You know what I'm talking about. Mr. Lawson, I bet you one of yours, I don't know if you got the same 3 I got, but I got the black card, the American Express card, and whatever this card is, the platinum card. Yeah, this is a platinum. So I got the black card, the American Express blue card, and this gray platinum card. I don't know, because they call it the trifecta at Navy Federal. Let's see. I always use credit cards. I'm trying to, bro, people don't realize, Mr. B, you get the points. The points, you can do anything with them. Whether, because with Navy Federal, they'll allow you to just cash them out and get cash back. So it depends on how much you spent. Like I usually get anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500. Lately, it's only been around $2,200, $2,300 back every year. You let those points accumulate, like from now, from this point in December to December of next year. I'm going to accumulate another $2,300 because I forgot how it goes. It's like, isn't it like 100 points? No, how many points for $50? I can't remember how it goes, but you get so many points for $50. And that's why I pay for everything with the credit card to accumulate those points. You can do it for airline tickets. You can do it for clothes. They got their own shopping centers. They send you this damn thing every month, depending on how many points you got. They'll say, hey, you want to spend your points at our store, or you want to spend them through Amazon or whoever. Bro, like I said, I don't know how y'all do it, man. When y'all just out here just using your debit card and taking out cash in these countries, y'all losing your ass off. BMW is a hotel and a movie theater on wheels. I was just going to buy Mercedes. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I wasn't being clear. I meant the local currency. I understand. Talking to JX. What about Charles Schwab debit card? Can't use it. That I need to get cash when abroad if I need small cash for local mom and pop stores. I'm trying to see. Yes, with the I have a Charles Schwab investment checking account. With that checking account, I got a debit card with that. With that account, any fees that I accumulate on that card here from using it, I get that back. So if you got a Charles Schwab account, you better check to see if it's one that actually pays you back, because not every account pays you back. That's a Pacific investment account I have with Charles Schwab. So that one, I know I get my money back. With Capital One, it's similar to Navy Federal. You charge in your Capital One card, your debit card, like if you're taking out ATM money, and then they pay it all back at the end of the month. Now, with some of those, though, it depends on what account you have. Like I have an account with Discover, like Discover Bank, because I have a Discover card. They don't have cash back, not for overseas. You overseas, you using that debit card from Discover, they're gonna charge your ass for every time you use it, you get hit with a fee. Wow, Markel, we have almost the same companies except one. See, credit card is always the best to use if they accept it abroad and are local. In my opinion, the points are great, but the protection is even. That's what I'm saying, man. Mr. B. The way I found it from living overseas now for many years, if you want to be protected, you get robbed or whatever happened, you can cancel that credit card. Any transactions that they made on that card, because all these banks know your habits, right? We all have habits. We all have patterns. Like if you only spend $2,000 a month and then all of a sudden you spend $10,000 that month, they're going to call you and say, hey, did you do this? Because this is not what you normally do, right? With a credit card, you ain't lost no cash. in any transaction they made, depending on your credit card company now, because not all credit card companies are equal. American Express, in my opinion, is the best credit card company out there. American Express, bar none. If I'm gonna make a purchase here, like when I bought this, okay, I paid for it with my American Express card. The reason being, let's say something was wrong with this, and I went to take it back to the store, and the store goes, "We don't do refunds. We're not gonna give you the money back. We're just gonna do store credit." Okay, I'm calling Navy Federal. I'm sorry, American Express. American Express is just gonna take their money back and put the credit back on my card. And anybody who has American Express, especially if you have the higher end American Express, the Reserve card, the Platinum card, or the Gold card, if you call them and tell them, "Hey, this phone broke. I went to the store. They didn't want to give me my money back." American Express concierge is gonna go, "Okay, we'll take care of it. We're gonna put the credit right back on your card right now." And they take that money right back from that merchant. That's why a lot of merchants overseas don't want to deal with American Express. A lot of these stores in the States don't want to deal with American Express because what I'm telling y'all is 1000% true. If you have an issue, they don't want to take it back. They just want to give you credit. You don't want to accept that. Go back to American Express. They're going to take that money. They're going to just take it. They can just take it. And then they'll tell you, you got the option. You can take it back or you can just keep it if they didn't want to give it back to you. I'm telling y'all, dude, anybody who has an American Express Reserve card, Platinum card, or Gold card will tell you American Express does not play. They will just take it. I will be your emergencies today. Now, cashable me. Come on, man. Let's see. And it helps you keeping track. Hell yeah, you got to. What's up, family man? How you doing? But the reality is credit cards are only good if you're responsible. Some people are to treat real. Yeah, you got to be responsible, man. You got to pay those cards off. I try not to carry debt. Sometimes I do because I may do a little too much and I may carry a little debt, maybe a couple $100, and then pay it off the following month. But yeah, man, you got to keep track of your money. And that's the other thing, real quick, man. And I've said this, I think 1 or 2 times. Do not depend on banks to keep track of your money. Anytime you spending money, bro, you keep the receipt. I don't care what time. The next day, you get up, you go to your phone, you go to your computer, you sit down with that receipt and see how much it was, and you see what they took out. And then you understand how they're charging you, right? I learned this a long time ago because I used to, man, just take money, never look at my account, never pay attention to what the bank was doing, and just go, okay, well, I'll worry about it later. Now, let me buy something. The next day, I'll take that receipt, I sit down, I look at my bank account, and I see what they took. Now, if they look like something funny, I'm calling them and say, "Hey, man, what's this $3 y'all took? What is that for?" They'll give you some extra, and you're like, "No, I didn't spend that. I spent this." Or it might be a situation where the exchange rate changed, and you're like, "Okay, well, this don't make sense," and then they'll figure it out with the exchange rate. But I don't depend on the banks to know or to keep track of my money. You got to keep track of that because banks will take whatever they can take. If they take 99 cents from 1,000 people, how much money did they take? So you got to keep track of that. Let's see, I have Charles Schwab, checking and debit. It refunds all ATM fees, local or abroad. I would think it's a great option to get cash abroad if you have one. That sounds pretty good. Just make sure that you get your money back. I know it's a lot of countries don't accept. Yeah, that's why. I'm telling you why they don't, especially in Europe. Here, they take American Express, right? But like I said, bro, it depends on your American Express card, like the level of your card. Because I'm telling y'all, man, if you have an issue and you got one of those high cards, because I got one, what was it, $650 a month, $750 a month that I paid, something like that. Trust and believe, they gonna get you your money back. They gonna just take it. Let's see, using a debit card offers little to no protection if stolen. Correct. Yeah. $1 million worth of gain, bro. This is like, if you've been dealing with credit and debit cards and just living, bro, this is stuff most people should know already. especially if you're gonna live abroad. If you're gonna live abroad, and I'm being 1,000% real with you guys. If you're gonna live abroad, man, don't come over with no secondary bank. Don't get some account just because you don't know how to get a checking or debit account, bro. Stay in the States and get your shit squared away because all you're doing is losing money. Every month, you're losing money that you ain't never gonna get back. You ain't never getting that back. And they're gonna hit you, these secondary banks, these secondary lenders, they're gonna hit you for as much as they can, as they legally can. And they probably hit them for more than that because people who normally get accounts like that don't even check their bank account. They don't check their bank account until it runs low and then they need to get some more money out. And then they look at it and go, okay, I got $20 left. They're going to charge me $7 to take out this $20. So I can only get $13 out. Who wants to live like that? But unfortunately, there's a lot of people in a lot of different places around the world that live exactly like that. And I just don't see how it's worth it. Let me see. He said Visa or American Express. They did not like those companies. No. It's all good, man. How you doing today? Let's see. I love American Express, but I got rid of it because I hate when my business didn't accept it when I was in Europe or where I live. Hey, I'm gonna keep mine, bro, because that's the first thing I pull out, other than when I'm just trying to get points, is my reserve American Express card. Especially when I'm making a purchase like I made on this. Yeah, here, charge it. Because I know if you screw up, they're gonna put my money back. I'm never worried when I pay with American Express. Had my American Express Gold since 2003. Yep, you are right. They will refund you. Bro, I'm telling you. This is somebody else that comes. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all the 1,000% truth. You get an American Express Gold card, Reserve card. I think it's Platinum. I gotta go look at my other card. You get one of those high-end. Well, I ain't saying you gotta get the high-end. I'm just saying, you get one of those high-end cards, bro, you ain't got no worries. You call them up and you tell them what happened. That money going right back on your card. Let's see. Yep, I got the Platinum card too. A lot of perks. Yep. Hey, that's the only. Now, I'm not a finance manager. I'm not some special guru when it comes to this. This is just stuff I've learned from years of experience. But I would just say another thing too, besides not trying to go with these secondary lenders, if your credit is jacked up, man, try to straighten your credit up. At least get like a Capital One, not a prepaid, secure credit card. Get like a Capital One, a Discover, or a Navy Federal. Hell, use the credit unions. The credit unions, man, if your credit is jacked, man, the credit unions help you. They'll start you off with a secure credit card, maybe whatever you put in, 500, 1,000, 1,500, whatever it is. Get one of those, and I think Navy Federal will give you a secure credit card with no overseas transaction. For those of you who are struggling with your credit, I'm telling you, man, there's ways around it. Credit unions, Navy Federal, USAA, they will help you. They will help you. I'm trying to look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive that if you get a secure credit card from Navy Federal or USAA and you go overseas with it, you don't get overseas fees, right? And it's your money. So if you screw up, right, the bank got their money. But it's best, man, don't screw that up. If you get the opportunity, if your credit is jacked, you get the opportunity to get your credit squared away, take advantage of that, man. Overseas, I can just tell you that you don't need to really worry about U.S. credit that much. But if you want security, right, like you don't want to dip into your savings or your money market accounts or your CDs or anything else you got, and you got a situation that comes up, you got a $25,000 credit card or $50,000 black card or whatever it is, you got that emergency money right there that's just sitting there all the time. Then that's the whole purpose of having it. I tell people all the time, man, if you can at least get a $5,000 credit card, don't touch it, and that's your emergency to get you the hell out of wherever you are. $5,000 to be able to get you out of whatever situation you in to fly your ass back to America, okay? And then when you get to America, you handle it from there. You call family members or whoever. But coming overseas, bro, You ain't got no credit card. You ain't got no credit line. You got nothing. Yeah, man. I don't know how y'all do that. I don't know. But all right, man. I done went over 30 minutes more than I was supposed to. But I'm gonna start talking about this more next week because I talked about it a little bit, man. Getting rid of subscription plans that you don't even use, that's charging you every month. Y'all losing 60 to 100. Some of y'all losing $200 a month on subscription plans, and you ain't even using it. Like, you know, it sounds like small amounts, $8 here, $10 there. But if you got 5 or 6 of them, bro, that's $110 to $120 a month that you're giving away for stuff you don't even use. Y'all guys understand what I'm saying, man? Like, you got an old ass phone. You still paying insurance on a phone that's 5, 6 years old that you could buy cash for the equivalent of what the insurance costs you every year. That's not worth it. Like, you know, I still got 1 phone, no, 3 phones. I ain't gonna lie. I got 3 phones I'm paying insurance on, right? But the value of the phone is still far more than what it would cost me per year to replace it. That's why I keep it. But once it gets to the point, let's just say the insurance is, I think I pay $13 a month for my Apple one, for $13 a month, right? You do that for a year, you're like $150. Okay, when that phone gets to be about $300 in value, there ain't no point in me paying the insurance. I can just go buy it cash. But as long as that phone's value is $800 to $1,500, oh hell no, I'm paying that $13 a month. You guys understand what I'm saying? But once it hits, I honestly say like $500. Once it gets like $500 in value, oh, drop that insurance. It ain't worth nothing now. I can just buy another one and replace it. There's no value to me having that insurance anymore. So it's just little things like that, man, to keep money in your pocket. Let's see. Do not travel overseas without at least 2 credit cards. If one credit card gets cut off due to fraud, you are trapped. Bro, I'm trying to, or deactivate it. You know, if you're not going to use them, right? Now, there's sometimes, real talk, there's sometimes I've had cards and I thought they were active. They turned it off because I haven't used it in more than a year. So every now and again, I'll just pull out one and just use it just to show activity on it, right? Some of y'all got cards right now that are turned off. You don't even know it because you had no activity on the card, right? I mean, you can use the card, just don't carry a balance. Like, I'll just make a purchase. Let's say we went to the movies. I'll pay for the movies. I'll pay for the popcorn. It may end up being $35 for the whole night. I'll get back the next day. I'll just pay the $35 off. Boom, I'm done. Now I got activity on the card. They won't turn the card off. Stuff like that. It's just little things, man. And for those of you that are working on a budget, try to get credit cards with no annual fees, right? Like, if you're not going to use the perks that come with having these high dollar cards, try to get some that have no annual fees. That way, you know, you're not paying $250, $100 or whatever. And don't get these damn, what are those credit cards? Like, I've seen them in the mail. They like, we'll give you $500 worth of credit, but we're going to charge you $150 to get the card. And then we're going to charge you $35 a month or $39 a month, whatever it is. Don't mess with them cards, man. Them cards ain't no damn good. Those ain't no good. You might as well just get you a prepaid credit card at that point. But that shit is no good. But like Capital One, Discover, Navy Federal, or USAA, those have the best secure credit cards. And I believe they don't charge you an overseas fee. These are the gems cats need. Definitely bring this back. All right, man. Let's see. It's never good to just have one. No, never, bro. Bro, I got a backup to the backup to the backup. Let's see. You can't get a plane ticket without a credit card. Well, here you can, Mr. B. You can go right up to the airport, right, with cash. No problem. How much is it? What, 1,500,000? 1,500,000? You got cash? You pay them cash. That's that's what's different here, though, man. Hey, most people here that I know, a lot of locals, they don't use debit cards. They don't use credit cards. They pay in cash. Everything is cash. You know, you ask them about credit. Most of them, they don't deal in no kind of credit, man. Uh, like my driver's car. I thought no, her mom bought it. Her mom ain't even got a driver's license. Don't matter. You know, a lot of you people, no. Hey, here, credit and all that, a whole different situation. What's up, man? How you doing? Marine Frog. All right, man. Hey, that's gonna be it, dude. But we'll get into more to talking about, you know, saving, finance, save. Because I'm gonna do a whole series next year. Because I'm getting a new iPhone 15, right? I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna save to get it, and the one that I'm gonna get is gonna be about $2,000. And I'm gonna show you how I'm saving for the airline ticket to fly to the States instead of paying 40% import taxes to buy it and bring it back all in one day. I'm not gonna even go to the Apple store because you know now you can buy it online, you can have it delivered. So I'm gonna buy it online the day before I leave, have it delivered to the hotel. So when I get to the hotel, all I gotta do is just pick it up at the hotel, go to my room, go to sleep, wake up the next day, get on the plane, bring my ass right back. I'm doing all that in 2023. I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna save the money to do it. Do they use credit score in Colombia? Yes. Okay, so it's a little different here how they do it, and you need a residential card in order to really get the full experience with credit. So, like with my current migrant card, I'm limited to so many places that I can get credit. So my longest credit line is with Claro, the cell phone service here, right? Believe it or not, I got a $5,000 credit line with Claro. I've had them since I've been in this country over 5 years now. And I'm shocked that they gave me that much credit on a freaking cell phone account. I've never had that much credit on a cell phone account before. And the only other place I have credit is Jumbo's. Jumbo's has a finance thing inside of there. And just messing around one day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to get credit here. I gave them my ID card. They did whatever they did, and then they gave me like a $1,800 credit line at Jumbo, so I can go in there if I need to buy a TV or I need to buy a computer or whatever. I can finance it through Jumbo's, right? But it's once you get that residential card, oh, all doors are open at that point. You know, I'll be able to get accounts at Falabella's, K-Tronics, whatever furniture stores. I'll be good to go at that point. But it is a little different here. And they did run my credit, just so y'all know. When I got my account with Claro Colombia, they ran my credit back in the U.S. The first time when I opened my postpaid account. I don't have a prepaid account. I have a postpaid account. But when I opened my account with Tigo, which is the other cell service, they didn't run my credit. I gave my ID, they opened up an account, and they started me out with $1,200 or $1,300. Now I don't know if it's because maybe I got credit on this Colombian card or what, but that's what they did with me at Tigo. Can you use your credit score to help you in any way there? Yeah, like I said, they ran my credit the first time, but now they don't. They just look at my ID card. No problem. That would be great to talk about credit in Colombia and debt. I'll tell you as much as I know, dude. And again, I don't have the right ID card to really get into everything that you can do here. But I do know this. I'm never going to finance a car here. I'm never going to buy a house through their banks here. Bro, woo, yeah, that's a whole different conversation right there. The interest rates that they charge here on stuff, and the stories that you hear from the locals when they like a week late, it's like, no, because say like you get sick, right? And in the States, you get set up to have your money automatically taken out. Well, like I said, most Colombians that I know here, they deal in cash. They don't really use debit cards or credit cards. Like they have them, but they don't really deal in that, right? They mostly deal in cash. So I remember my one friend told me that they won't finance a car through the bank. they'll find one of these loan sharks and get the money from them because it's cheaper than going through the bank. And if you pay late, the loan shark are just charging interest, where the bank is just going to repo the car. You a week or late, he told me, you late 1 week, they come to get the car. I said, damn, a week? Wow. With a loan shark, it just going to charge you interest. That's it. And most people who on the lower end here, who deal strictly in cash, they don't even try to go to the bank, bro. They know people here, and I don't advise nobody here to do that, but they know people here where they go get the money and they pay the loan shark. I'm like, damn. They might even sell you something they don't even own, from what I heard. It's all good, Mr. Miles. Appreciate it. Let's see. I don't trust many lawyers abroad. They may help. Yeah, I don't try to make no deals here, dude. Anything I buy, I just try to pay out locally. I'm not trying to really own nothing. I own some land here. Like, I got 2 land plots. I paid $50 for one and $75 for the other one, and that's it. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure I really own that. I hope I do. I got paperwork that says I do, and it's from Remax, so I'm hoping nobody's ever sent me something saying that it's not. So, loan sharking is big in Korea. Yeah, it's big here. It's big here. All right, guys, that's it, man. I'm out. Peace. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.